infinitives. The other day, I was preparing my presentation for a teacher's conference. I asked my friends to help. They agreed to listen to my presentation. Anna told me to look at the audience more. They all seemed to like the slides. I reminded them to come to my presentation. Let's look at these sentences. Some verbs can be followed by infinitives alone. For example, in the sentence, my friends agreed to listen to my presentation, the verb agreed is followed by the infinitive to listen. In the sentence, they all seemed to like the slides, the verb seemed is followed by the infinitive to like.
Both of those verbs, seemed and agreed, are mental process verbs. When you agree, first you have to make that decision in your brain, right? Yes, I like that. No, I don't like that, right? So that's a mental process verb.
Yes.
And therefore, it's followed by an infinitive, not a gerund. Remember, the exception to this is consider. Consider you do up here, but it's followed by a gerund, not an infinitive. When something seems, it's the way it appears, meaning you're taking in information and your brain is processing it. So, once again, mental process verb.
However, some verbs must be followed by an object before an infinitive. For example, in the sentence, I asked my friends to help, the object, my friends, goes between the verb asked and the infinitive to help. Anna told me to look at the audience more. The object, me, goes between the verb told and the infinitive to look. Similarly, in the sentence, I reminded them to come to my presentation, the object, them, goes between the verb reminded and the infinitive to come.
All right, let's look at these verbs. Asked, told, reminded. They're all speaking verbs, right? So remember, most liking, disliking verbs, most speaking verbs, and most stopping and starting verbs can be followed by either gerund or infinitive. I spoke to you about that already. I didn't put it up here because usually you're better off using the gerund, but most infinitives can in fact follow speaking verbs, liking or disliking verbs, or starting, stopping verbs.
Here are some common verbs often followed by an infinitive.
Mental process verb. Mental process verb, right? That's kind of a special one. Can't wait. That's really a starting, stopping verb. Decide, mental process verb. We already talked about want and need. Hope has that inherent future meaning to it, right? Learn. If you're going to learn something, you don't know it now. You're going to learn it in the future. So we've got that inherent future nature here. Here's a speaking verb, a mental process verb. Mental process, you make plans, you think about your plans, right? To pretend, again, usually that involves mental process. Offer, if you're going to offer something, you have to say something to someone. All right, so you'll see that most of these actually do fall into these categories that we've already discussed.
These are some common verbs often followed by an object and the infinitive. My friends had some great suggestions, and now I can't wait to give my presentation. Can I persuade you to come too?
Okay, so here we go. John, this is would, hiding in this contraction. I would like what? I would like you to work late, right? So there's our infinitive. Is that okay? Of course, you'll get paid overtime. I think so, but let me call my sister first. I need. Talked about want and need. I need what? I need her to pick me up, right? So verb plus object plus infinitive. We share a car. Do you want? We talked about want, right? Want and need followed by infinitive. Do you want object, me, infinitive, to work late? Tomorrow night too? No, just tonight. Lena had an emergency and can't come in tonight. So I need, what do I need? I need you to cover her shift. Okay? So that's the pattern that we're gonna work with tonight. It's not too bad. It's like a baby step towards dealing with infinitives, but all of this information, hopefully, will be beneficial, will help you in the future in dealing with infinitives, right? I did the same thing with gerunds. I gave you some tips for using them, so even though you don't need them in level 3, level 4, level 5, you will need this stuff. You will need that.
Thank you, teacher.